The Tigers VFL team has made 4 changes ahead of the elimination final against Brisbane Lions tomorrow. And we get to welcome back Mykelti, who's obviously been out for the last, 5, 6, 7 weeks with a calf injury. So very, very exciting to see Mykelti back into the mix. He's going to be a great addition to the VFL side. And the last we saw of Mykelti in the VFL, he was playing not necessarily as a full forward, but he was kind of up the ground more, playing almost as another midfielder around stoppage. Did some ruck work, was getting some clearances, then went forward as well, just to kind of offset the height up forward, I suppose. But he adds a lot of strings and a lot of different areas to our forward and midfield mix that can make things really, really interesting. So welcome back to Mykelti. Also returning is Sam Phillips, Tom Ferguson, and Jed Fennelly. So they're replacing Lockie Street, the captain who's unfortunately hurt his ankle, Nick Guinea with a shoulder, Steely Green's actually ineligible. He would have played too many AFL games. And Campbell Gray, who we're all kind of hoping see play, did cop a bit of a knock late and has got concussion. So he will miss due to concussion protocols. But with that said, let's jump across now and bring up the VFL lineup for the game tomorrow against Brisbane. Alrighty, so we're just on the club website here. If anyone wants to see the team lineup outside of this video, just head to the club website. They've got an article up there ready to go. So looking at the back line, from an AFL perspective, we've got Jacob Blight down there, who's had a pretty big year at VFL level, to the point where it's kind of raised questions as to why he wasn't selected in AFL a little bit more. But he's been pretty big on his intercept marking game. There's been a lot of weeks where he's taken upwards of 10 intercept marks or 10 marks, and had upwards of 20 on disposal. So it feels like we're going to need that type of game from him again, especially in a final, just to show some leadership, some experience, a big, strong body down back. So fingers crossed he can have his best marking game on for tomorrow. Al Noor's another one. I know I said I was going to talk about AFL listed players, but Al Noor, geez, he's had a good year. And I reckon every time that we've live watched a VFL game, almost everybody in chat has always been saying, this guy's got to be in an AFL side at some point. And I think there'll be people looking at him for sure. I just don't think it's going to be at our list, unfortunately, with the amount of key backs that we've got. But he has been seriously important down there with the way he reads the ball, the way he attacks the play, and his run off halfback as well. He's had a super year. Caleb Smith is lining up off halfback. Smith is an interesting one. I mean, we've seen him at AFL level a couple of times, and he's adjusted okay, but the reality is there's a lot of competition for spots in the position he plays at AFL level, so it's a bit more tricky for him to break in. But when he comes back and plays at VFL level, he usually ends up with 25, 30 odd touches and uses the ball quite well. So he just needs to be his damaging self, provide that run and dash off halfback and set up the drive to hopefully give our forwards a good chance to kick a winning score. Looking at the half forward line, we've got Jasper Elger on the half forward line, my man. Good to see Jasper back. I think he played last week as well, but hopefully he can step up in the finals type pressure and have a big game. He's got X Factor written all over him, can play tall, can play small, like we've said before. So very, very keen to see what Jasper can do. I'll roll back to the centre line quickly. Harry Scott, hasn't he had a month and a half of football? He's another one that is seriously creeping onto clubs' radars from a draft perspective. And again, we're already seeing all the comments on all the different Facebook forums and Big Footy and Punt Road and everything else, Twitter, saying that we as in Richmond need to do everything we can to try and secure him. We don't want to lose another VFL player to another club, but I mean, whatever happens in that space happens. But Harry Scott's having a ripper year, and long may it continue. Sam Toner as well. Good to have him back into the mix too. He's got a bit of promise about him as well. The forward line, 3 big men. They've gone for old Jake Batchelor's triangle here. Jacob Kazitsky, Liam Fawcett, Mykelti Lafau. And, I mean, Cozzy, what a turn of events. He's played backline virtually for the last 2 years. And then that one moment in time against Geelong, where I think it was Bauer that went down, and then Cozzy had to go up forward in the VFL and played it to really, really good effect. Almost, he was doing it though more as a decoy, not decoy, but just to halve the contest with no real expectation to cause scoreboard damage himself. But having said that, the longer he started playing there again, I think he got, 4 goals last week. He's taking marks, he's breaking packs open, kicking clutch goals. He's actually showing some really good signs up there. And it's going to be super interesting to see how this goes for the VFL again this week. Liam Fawcett coming off a 3-goal game, hitting some form, which is nice. He's another one that shows a lot of potential, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in a finals-type situation. Mykelti Lefau we spoke about before, but very good to have him back. Whether he starts forward or not, I'm not sure. I would assume he will, but I won't be surprised if he does some relief ruck work, if he pushes up around the ground to stoppages to try and get a big body at the contest and things like that. But he's a great addition to the side, and I think he will do very well. We've got Hayes Brown in the ruck, big snack pack. I've loved his year. I mean, you can't help but deny that he's really, really improved in 2025. And if it wasn't for him getting injured himself, I truly think he might have been a sneaky chance to have gotten some AFL minutes in one of these last handful of games, just to give Nank a chop out because he was looking a bit gassed. But it wasn't to be, but we've got him back now. Obviously, I think this is his 3rd game back from injury in the VFL. He had managed minutes the first game, and then now into his 3rd hit out. Hopefully he can recapture some really good form, dominate the air, he gets his fair share of disposals, gets his fair share of hit outs. Wonder if he can push forward and hit the scoreboard maybe as well, potentially. Looking at the midfield, we've got Lockie Wilson and Joel Garner coming off the long run up from the Stanley Street end, which would be good. And interchange, from an AFL perspective, we've got Samson Ryan on there. So we do have a secondary ruckman. So maybe my comment before about Lefau doing chop-out rucking may not eventuate. It might, depending on if they put one of the other guys around the ground somewhere else, or maybe Hayes Brown or Samson Ryan could sit a kick behind play, which would allow Lefau to be a more mobile ruckman. Who knows? But I guess seeing Ryan's name there would strongly suggest that he will do all of the other rucking that Hayes Brown isn't doing. But Samson Ryan's obviously a handy forward as well. He's proven at this level, can take a mark at this level and kick some nice goals. And for him, it's just about building the confidence and the good habits of the contested marking and kicking goals to try and translate into AFL football next year when it all rolls around again. But that is the team. So no Josh Smiley, which is a little bit disappointing. I think we all thought there were a good chance to see him play. No Kane McAuliffe, who's maybe another week or so away. We didn't get an injury report this week, which is a bit annoying. So we're not too sure what's actually happening with those guys and where they're at. But maybe if we progress past this round, maybe we get to see Kane McAuliffe. No Taj Houghton as well. So it doesn't, and no Josh Gibkiss, interestingly. That was probably the other one who I thought may have came back into the mix. No Josh Gibkiss. So I'm not sure if he pulled up sore or what's happening there, but hopefully we can hear something from the club on that shortly. But all the best to the VFL team tomorrow against Brisbane. Hopefully we get the win. Elimination final, 12:05 p.m. It should be live on your AFL app, whether it's on your phone or on the website, so you'll be able to watch it. And fingers crossed we can get the win and progress to the next round.